between the Halo Pro and the Core XC, there is now the Halo, and this new wing comes with several innovations. The front handle is well sized, even for large hands, absolutely big enough, and above all, it's also stiff enough to allow you to control the wing precisely. Completely new is the full carbon bionic boom. This boom is made from a single piece of pure carbon fiber, and this angle basically simulates the ergonomically optimal positioning, similar to that of handles, for example. We have very wide connector points on the middle strut, which make the boom extremely stiff, and the whole thing is designed as a pistol grip. Inflation and deflation are handled with Core's well-known large inlet and outlet valve. Additionally, there is a release valve on the middle strut, and the one-pump system is kept very short and straight. On each side, we have two windows that are arranged in such a way that you can really speak of good visibility to leeward here. The central part is made from a new high-strength Dacron material. This then transitions at the tips into the well-known material from Challenger, which is a Dacron reinforced with polyester threads in a rectangular pattern. The front tube is closed here with a simple Kedar seam, which is doubled and stitched from the inside. For the Halo, Core uses a triple ripstop material as the canopy fabric. The trailing edge is narrow and double reinforced, and on each side there are 3 battens to prevent the trailing edge from fluttering. The central profile depth of the Halo is supported by a narrow infill panel, which is slightly open at the front and rear sides. The central strut is attached to the canopy with 2 seams and is doubled and glued from the inside. The entry profile is kept quite flat and has little V shape. Only towards the trailing edge is the V slightly increased. Overall, we have good fabric tension here. Potential abrasion and chafing points are reinforced with rubberized material or fabric strips. And at the transition from the front tube to the canopy, we have another narrow fabric strip as reinforcement. On our first trip into the water with the Halo, we immediately noticed that it contains quite a few genes from the Halo Pro. We have a wing that sits very calmly in the hand and is optimally balanced from tip to tip. Picking it up is also very easy, since the trailing edge floats up very quickly here. And with just slight balancing movements, the wing can be beautifully stabilized here. The feel is exactly between that of the XC and the Halo Pro. And when it comes to starting behavior, meaning getting up on the foil in terms of performance, we're leaning a bit more towards the genes of the XC again. The Halo is a very good wing for a passive takeoff process. Thanks to its profile, it generates a strong base pull very early on, which quickly helps even those who don't want to pump much get up on the foil. The Halo achieves optimal performance for the takeoff process through a slightly scooping motion. But if you have a board that gets going early, meaning it picks up forward speed quickly, you basically only need a slight broad reach to get up on the foil comfortably. When flying, the Halo provides an overall sense of calm. The leading edge to trailing edge needs to be slightly and carefully adjusted with the backhand. The tip-to-tip balance is truly, absolutely, and exceptionally optimal. It's also worth specifically highlighting just how quickly the airflow returns to the wing after you've completed your maneuver. Let's take a look at the center of pressure. It is really absolutely stable. The grip feel is also very pleasant thanks to the curve of the boom, as your hands are positioned at a slight angle to each other. That makes gripping comfortable. However, when riding, you do notice that the trailing edge constantly has a slight flutter. This doesn't detract from the riding experience, but it is noticeable the entire time. Let's move on to maneuver handling. Overall, it's very well balanced and very easy to handle. All maneuvers against the wind do not cause any noticeable resistance, so there is no significant drag from the front tube. The same goes for all maneuvers through the wind. We have a very nice positioning of the wing, which is easy to guide along. It almost positions itself entirely on its own, so only minimal guidance is needed here. In terms of performance and this playful aspect, it almost reaches the level of the Halo Pro, which is still a bit better in this area. Nevertheless, this is a great option for an all-round wing that really covers a very wide range, simply because it already appeals to absolute beginners. So in the future, things will probably get pretty tough for the XC wing because the Halo gets going really early, is always active, and you don't have to do much. But it also really has quite a few genes from the Halo Pro, especially when the rider wants to get a bit of performance out of the wing. And you definitely get plenty of performance with the Halo Pro as well, especially when it comes to jumping and hang time. Of course, good jumps are always easier with a small kicker and a bit more wind. And for that, you obviously need good control as well. And with the Halo, you definitely have that even in the upper wind range. It has impressively high speed, a very smooth and very nice lift, and also offers above average hang time duration for an all-round wing. Of course, if we compare it again to the in-house Halo Pro with its Alula frame, that one is still a bit faster and even more controlled during spinning jumps. Nevertheless, all freestyle maneuvers with the Halo Pro are really easy to perform across the entire wind range, from light to strong wind without stress or a long adjustment period. The Halo Pro also proves to be absolutely calm and very reliable when surfing in the waves. This is a wing that really floats along effortlessly, where you hardly need to pay any attention to it in any situation. Of course, when you approach it, you naturally have to lift your arm a little bit, but even then, the trailing edge hardly drops at all, just like with the Halo Pro. It's simply a very nice profile that always adapts to the individual angle, and even the drag against the wind. If you pull a turn-up wind, nothing tugs at the wing or starts to oscillate, because the tip-to-tip balance, as we've already mentioned, is truly excellent. Again, it's clear to make the comparison to the Halo Pro here. Because of the Alula frame, it has a slightly thinner leading edge in terms of diameter. As mentioned, it has even less drag against the wind and feels just a bit lighter in the hand. But what the Halo shows here is already really impressive. The new material composition of the Halo provides a truly broad and extensive range of use, from absolute beginners to truly professional riders, without having to make any compromises whatsoever. One small drawback, which we already mentioned earlier, is the slightly fluttering trailing edge. That's something that can certainly be improved in the future. However, this is not something that would affect the riding performance in any way or disturb the feel of the wings. With the new boom, it should be mentioned that thanks to its connection points to the middle strut, it is absolutely rock solid. There is currently no stronger connection available on the market. So, when riding or pumping, the boom cannot be moved at all, either up or down. It is really incredibly stiff and very well executed. As for whether you actually need this anatomically shaped curve in the boom, opinions within the test team were somewhat divided. For those coming more from windsurfing, they say it actually throws them off a bit. It could just as well be straight. And for those who might not even want to decide whether they prefer handles or a boom, this is of course the perfect solution because you definitely get both here. So you can slide your hand along, but you still have the ergonomic positioning that matches the natural posture of your arms, or rather your hands. And let's compare it again with the rest of the market for all-around wings. So the Halo definitely belongs to the more playful wings in terms of handling, but on the other hand, we also have the consistently strong propulsion of a powerful all-round wing. This complete package for wave, freestyle and freeride, and for all skill levels, is available in the 5 square meter size for €1,499. In conclusion, we have to say that for us, It complements Core's wing range exceptionally well.